Hey YouTube, I'm back at it again. I am doing a pretty cool topic that I feel needs to be talked about. Hey squad, what's good? I decided that I am going to share with you guys my favorite product right now from my website, and that is the one and only Rina Rose hat. My Rina Rose hat. It's obviously popping because it fits to the head like super snug. It has like one of those flexible rims so you can shape it to your face, because I always like when the hat like hugs my face like this. I don't like it flat. I don't like it too bulky. It has the adjustable strap in the back. Boom, right here. My icon, the rose with the crown. So I'm gonna put you guys on to some game that I've learned from men. I've not like not a dude, so I don't really know how they think. I'm pretty sure most guys think differently. Like, I'm pretty sure some guys may think when they're thinking about one girl, they think in a certain way, and they're thinking about another girl, they think in a different way. So your goal is to figure out what girl you are, and then only associate yourself with the men who are taking you that way. Because if not, you're gonna get dragged, sis. We're talking about boys, men, and brothers. And you know, guys can move in and out of categories. Maybe 1 minute they're in your life and the next minute they're not. And then 4 years later, like before you know it, they like everything. Like, so you really don't know, and you have to be open-minded sometimes to like the man that you're looking for, and understand that like even to be the woman that you have to be with certain type of men or certain type of brothers, like be a friend, you have to work on yourself too, sis. So this is not just bashing guys. We are talking from both aspects, and I'm also going to do a video on girls, women, and sisters, so that you know you can kind of get the vibe of how girls feel, how we know where we are mentally, and how we can check ourselves to make sure that we have our minds in the right place for the futures that we're looking for. These boys, like especially when they're young, a lot of times they're kind of forced into this mentality to not have emotions or show emotions. So you have to like realize that, and like a lot of times we as girls, like we search for that confirmation of emotion, the confirmation that these guys care about us. Like sometimes it's difficult for guys to show emotions, and like society glorifies, you know, like when men are savages, and sometimes it does the same thing for women. So like you have to watch and protect your heart, because you don't know what you're getting into sometimes. And like boys, like they kind of grow up with like that mentality of like glorifying the sexualizing of women. So you got to realize from the jump, like the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, the way you talk to yourself when you're serious about a guy, if you're not doing that, like presenting that aspect of yourself, then you're going to see right away whether he's a boy or a man. Because if he's a man, he's going to stick around because he's looking for something else. If he's a boy, he's trying to so he's not going to be around for long. A lot of times, like you can meet a guy or a boy, I'll say, and he's like a young king. Like he might have that mentality of he knows what he wants, he's focused, but the aspect of wanting like a woman isn't there yet. So that category of him might still be a fuckboy. And like I have dated men like that like they, you know, they got their mind together, they know what they want, they're focused on their bread or whatever, but their relationship aspect is not there emotionally to commit to something with a female, because they're F-boy type time. So also, like, men could build walls just like women. Like, we build walls after heartbreaks. So sometimes it might be 100 times more difficult for someone to get to your soft spot, because you've been through all of the, you know, the ringer, and you've built calluses around all of your scars. Like, when that happens, it makes it more difficult, but like the person who really cares about you will take that time to figure out how to grow closer to you emotionally and mentally and spiritually. And if they're not trying to take that time, ladies, you just have to realize like it's really up to you. For young girls, we don't realize this when we're young. We don't realize this because we think that that's how it's supposed to be. Especially like for me, I didn't have, if you don't have a male lead figure in your life, then you might get this twisted. You might get this confused. If a man is trying to control you and manipulate you, he is a boy. This is a boy, right? You're dealing with a boy. He's not a man. If he is trying to make you look, act, and dress a certain way that is not of you, maybe it's because he's trying to make you into a woman too soon. And you need to well out and do your little girl face. Or maybe what you are doing is perfectly fine, but he wants to confine you more into the spaces of like being what he's looking for. And you can't make someone what you want. They have to be themselves. Because if not, they're going to resent you and not be happy in the relationship. So if you're dealing with a man or a claim to be man who is acting like a boy and trying to change you or trying to make you into something, same thing goes for women. There are older women who will date young boys and try to make them, you know, like be controlled, like, or just use them for like, you know, nasty because they're young. Like it, you know, it doesn't just go one way. It goes both ways. You gotta decipher, ladies, no matter how young you are, because that could scar you. That could put you in a place where you don't want to be, or like a mentality, a mindset that you're not ready for. I think a few ways to know if you're dealing with a man or dealing with someone who's ready for something serious, a serious relationship. Some ways you could tell is if he keeps the right focus. So when he sees you acting a fool or trying to get into things that you're not supposed to be in, he's like, girl, get back on track. Like, I don't want to be associated with that. This is what I am. This is what I do. If you're trying to be on the same type of time, then cool. If not, you know, you're supposed to grow together and get better together and level up together. If who he surrounds himself with, like his friends are going to be, even if he claims like, nah, my bro does that, but I don't do that. Like, I ain't about that. No. Know when you hear it. You know when you hear it. Oh, here's a good example. This just happened in the car like 2 minutes ago. I was talking about this with my little sister. How funny it is how when a guy tries to talk to you, if you don't talk to him, he gets mad. And I'll tell you a story of a time that happened to me. When I was coming home from school, right, I used to take the L, and there was a guy that tried to talk to me, and he like approached me, right, you know, but like I had a boyfriend. Like I wasn't trying to talk back to him, and it wasn't because he was ugly. I don't even remember what his face looked like, but I just couldn't talk to him. Like, sorry, I got some. I remember my skin was so bad at this time. It was bad, like my biggest insecurity, and he came for my skin, and I was just like broke. Like I was like, all right, little pieces shriveled up on the floor, and I kept walking, but I was hurt. And when a man breaks you down like that, it's just because like all he wanted was some ass for an ego trip. Like he don't really want you. He don't really like you. So you have to be mindful of that, ladies, and don't let that break you down and bring your guard down and give these men what they're looking for. Because at the end of the day, they don't really care about you. As quick as they complimented you, they're about to shit on you. So don't let that happen. You got to just stand firm in what you are and what you believe in. The environment he surrounds himself with, his friends, is a reflection of him and what he is going to bring you into. You have to realize, like, too, if you're associating with these men, regardless of what you are, you're going to mold with them, especially if you're sleeping with them or if you're spending excessive amounts of time with them. You're going to have a part of his mentality or a part of his spiritual journey or whatever it may be invested in yourself. So you have to be mindful of that, girl. So basically, if they're petty, they're little boys, all right? If they're trying to get back at you, if they are insecure and, ooh, I'll put you on to one. I've been there. I've been on both sides. All right, both sides. If they're accusing you of something, they're guilty. Especially if you know you're innocent. That's when that happens, sis. Look, you like this going through your phone, and he gets behind you and he says, "Who you texting?" Bitch, you put the phone in the hand so he can see, and you look right at him, and you gotta ask him, "No, who you texting?" You know what I mean? Because he's so worried about you for one reason. Don't look back, sis, because his phone is full of... I'm just warning you. I'm letting you know. And if you don't believe that, wait around. You'll find out, sis. You'll find out. There could be a possibility that he's just insecure. And if he like looks for you, he's like, "I'm sorry, babe, I freaked out like that, blah, 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 whatever." Be like, all right, let's give it some time. Give him some time. Let him go well out. If he really got some thoughts, he's gonna well out with his thoughts, right? And if you're on some lovey-dovey type thing and you want to accept him when he comes back, cool. If not, cool. You gonna find yourself a better one where they're trying to lead you to. They might be leading you to a dead end. Then they're gonna leave your ass there and they're gonna turn around in their car and drive away. How you present yourself is how you're going to be treated. So if you start to accept things from the beginning, guess what? It's probably going to happen again. And it's probably going to happen again. And then you're going to have a whole hand of situations that you still haven't learned from. You feel me? I'm talking to myself. and this is for men too, because a lot of times men feel scared. They feel like they have to protect themselves in relationships. If you're a little girl and have a little girl's mentality, like you're playing still, a man is gonna treat you how you present yourself. I think back of when I was, you know, on my little girl type of time, like the men that were like, I look now and I'm like, dang, they're on their grind, like they're men, like they approached me because I looked like a woman, but my mind, the second that we sat down and we had dinner or we talked even for like over 5 minutes, like the conversations didn't last very long because you could tell like my mind was still a little girl's mind. And where girls can't really associate long with men, because men, they see through it just like women. Once women hit that age where they know this is what they want, this is what they're associating with, the F boys, they don't get play with women because women see right through the games, you know what I mean? It's the right way, and you're taking your time, and you're both like on some serious type of time, and it just doesn't work, and it might hurt, but you gotta heal through it, I guess. And like that happens sometimes, you know, like that's, I'm sure it happens. And to realize too, like some men will look for young girls because they haven't actually become men yet. So men, if you're out there and you're doing that, stop playing around with these little girls. Just focus on yourself and level up, because you're going to scar these girls. Like you're going to mess up their mind because you need to feed your ego with these girls that have to rely on you. You know, like don't do that. Don't do that to young girls, because you wouldn't want that done to your daughter. You wouldn't want your daughter manipulated. You wouldn't want your daughter played. Like stop it, because karma the same thing for women. Like trust me, ladies. It's fun to be Rihanna Savage, but more than likely, she's not really about that. She's sitting in her house counting her stacks. She's Rihanna. Like, she's exclusive. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to sit at her table, you have to be bringing something to eat. Now, the brother-sister category, I feel like that is the best category, because it's like you're on the same team. You have the same mindset. You're getting to know each other. Like, that's the best. Like, when you have a friend, you guys can be clear and transparent with one another, and it's not like a game. You know what I mean? Like, you're on the same team. Like, you're learning each other together, but you're also, like, when you go out, it's not like, it's like, oh, cool, he's going to check somebody out. Like, you know, you're going to check somebody out, and you're just friends. Like, that's it. Like, that's a cool relationship to have, because then you get to know people. Now, if you're interested in your brother, right, you going out and that's your brother, and you like, you know, you his sis, but you could tell, like, the way that he looks at you, his eyes linger. He gets a little sparkle. And sometimes when he be saying certain things, like, you can't help but blush, you know? He's not really your brother, sis. He's a pending potential. We're going to call it a pending potential. You're just trying to learn about the person. You're trying to go closer to the person. And if you really care about, like, their feelings and you don't want to hurt them and you want to let them know, like, you like them as well, you're not going to disrespect them while you're out. Like, you're not going to be staring at some fat ass. You're not going to be looking at Bull's leg like, dang. You know, like, with the thirsty eyes, like, because you respect them and you know, like, all right, we're friends now, but maybe one day, like, it could be a little something more than that. It's not cool to lead people on. Why? Because you're gonna get led on. You feel me? So, and this is a problem that I always had. I feel like I have had, and I've definitely been on the led on side too. But like, it's cool to allow people to be interested in you, because sometimes when you're friends, it could be a mixed signal. Like, if you're just genuinely a sweet person, sometimes like men or women can get the wrong idea. And you have to realize, like, if you're giving them that signal, maybe you have to pull back, or maybe you just have to make it really clear, like, hey, we're just friends. This is all I'm interested in. Like, there's no time for anything else. And don't give them the mix sort of thing with some, you know, blushy face emojis and some eyes with a heart, because bitch, that's not where it's at, because then you're gonna be salty as hell when somebody does that to you. Like I said, if it's a potential something, and you know he's your friend, but you have interest in it being something more, then carry yourself as such and have patience, because that's when the most beautiful things flourish. And yeah, I'm done my lecture. Good luck this summer with your relationship endeavors. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. If you really like this video, share it on one of your social media platforms. And until next time.